Hello and welcome to a very special podcast from Oman Observer. We're going to find out more about State Audit Institution. Most of the countries have this, and it also comes with an agreement with United Nations. Here we're looking at the efficiency and proper use of the public fund. To tell us more about Oman's State Audit Institution, we have with us Mr. Salim Al Hajri, Senior Specialist. Welcome to Oman Observer.
Thank you very much for hosting me in this podcast, and I'm very delightful to be here.
Thank you. When we look at SAI, it all began in 2014, would you say, in Oman?
No, I will brief you about the historical background about SAI Oman. SAI started in 1970s, long time back.
Yes.
Evolved from a section to department to general directorate.
That is in Oman?
In Oman.
I see, okay.
Yes. And currently it's an institution headed by a chairman, which is in the same level of the ministers. So this is the long journey, I would say.
Yes, it started off, but it was very important part of the government from the 1970s itself,
Yes,
when the Renaissance
yes,
began.
yes.
But a royal decree actually came into action.
Yes, there are different royal decrees came in the many years back. In, I would say, the point where SAI moved from to big institution, that was in 2000.
Okay.
It became an institution, and state audit law issued at that time. 2011, a new role started in SAI, adding the administrative audit.
Okay.
Okay, and that was by Royal Decree number 111-2011. Following the Royal Decree of the accession of the Sultanate into the United Nations Convention against the corruption, in 2013, the government granted or assigned SAI to carry out the anti-corruption authority in the Sultanate. And that happened in 2014.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's where we were looking at as it became more active into even the common man's life.
Exactly.
Whereas
yeah.
it was before just a government organization maybe,
Yes.
but now you have a direct link to even the common man.
Exactly.
Actually, when we look at it, you have different roles, but SAI in Oman have two wings.
Yes.
And
yes.
that is auditing, administration, as well as corruption.
Yes, we have actually two wings. One which is the audit profession, which everyone's knowing it. The other wing is that we are carrying out the rule of the anti-corruption authority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we looked at the work mechanism. When it comes to corruption and measures taken for anti-corruption, what are the common problems?
There are no problems in that.
Okay.
First of all.
Okay.
Secondly, the state audit is working very close with the stakeholders, and many competent entities of the Sultanate are working with us in promoting the integrity and the awarenesses.
So who or which are the entities that you work with, SAI, as an institution?
So it is the administrative apparatus of the state, unless exempted in the royal decree. Public authorities, establishments, pension funds, investment funds, also the state-owned companies, which the government holds 40% or above of the share capital, the companies which the government granted concessions.
Okay. So other entities you deal with are anybody where the government holds shares more than 40%?
Many. I would say the state-owned companies, which are falling in the last two criteria I mentioned, approximately above 200 entity.
Okay. And even if it's two different government organizations in a company, adds up to 40 and above will be audited.
Yes, let's say, for example, entity holds 20%, other 20%, so collectively 40, so it will be subject.
So, in addition to awareness, I understand with the agreement with United Nations, part of it is also awareness.
Yes.
And using the media as well.
Yes.
But other than that, do you actually have training or anything like that that goes on?
Yes, of course. State Audit Institution is, or SAI Oman, is very, very mature organization. And that is because we have long experience in conducting our tasks, our engagements, etc. In order to reach the level that we are in currently, it has to be highly trained, skilled manpower at SAI.
Okay.
So it is something that the top management at SAI looking at it very deeply, and let's say that the people when they join, or the members when they join SAI, this kind of training goes till they get retired. So it's continuous, it's emphasized in highly level, yes.
So it is of the international nature, but does Oman have its own uniqueness even in this when it comes to auditing and checking on, corruption?
Each country has a different
Approach.
Sure. But I would say that Oman is following the best practices that we have sought from the international organizations, and adapted the best methodologies in conducting our engagements. So I would say yes, we are working in very different levels in this. Also to point out that not every countries do have the size and the anti-corruption authorities in one organization.
Right.
So maybe this is the kind of, we would say it's unique, but it is also noticed in other countries. They do the same practice that we do, and we have realized that this is working very efficiently and effectively in SAI Oman.
Is protecting the public fund or funds everybody's responsibility?
Before I go to this question, I want to add how do SAI work on these tools?
The work mechanism.
Work mechanism that it ensures this kind of, I would say, the integrity and promoting the awarenesses, accountability, etc. One of the points that I would like to mention is it's worth mentioning, is the community brief. As we are aware of that, one of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, may Allah protect and preserve him, in his royal speech, one of his royal speeches, I think it's the first one, he mentioned and said it clear and loud, or delivered clear message about the integrity and the accountability. That's why, as we know, that His Majesty is the master of the Vision 2040. There is an initiative regarding that SAI to publish its result to the community. So from here,
Oh, I see. The transparency.
exactly, yes, the transparency. So that's why the community brief, it is a masterpiece of SAI.
How do you do that? The community briefing.
It is our annual report.
Okay.
It has about 4 chapters where we publish to the community our results, and it's published in the website.
Okay.
And I urge anyone to go to our website, and it will be easily accessible. The versions are published in 2 languages, Arabic plus the English.
Okay.
And so far, SAI issued 3 versions pertaining the years 2020, 2021, and 2022.
Okay.
Yes.
So you already got those published already. But when we look again at corruption, how do we educate everybody? Because sometimes it's a thin line.
Yes. Here I would like to say that we have, we have got an evidence, or I wouldn't say in this way. Let me rephrase it.
Yes, sure.
It's very clear that the community has a sufficient awareness level and a very excellent also of values. So we would like to maintain this level of the values, and these values such as the equality, the fairness, the honesty, integrity, transparency. So it is there in the community. So from this thing, we are working that in mass communication, where our audience is not just a specific kind of
Specialist, maybe.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. It's the whole
Yes.
community.
Okay.
We address our letters or our message via different media platforms. We go through the televisions, the radio, the podcast, newspapers in different versions, whether they were papers or electronic, the social platform, and through these media we get to send the promoting integrity and the creating the awareness level that the government and in general would like to look at it, and also in specific the side that would like also to have it, because you want to maintain it in this level. Not just that only, also you want to improve it to a better and better. Our messages are very different in terms that videos, audios, posters, sometimes news, we publish via the different platforms that we have said. Not just that only, we also go to the children, and we have story publications,
Okay.
which is written by special or specialized writers in the education of children from the age of 8 to 12.
So it isn't the core value.
Yes, we do it. And through these books, we deliver the message in a way that it is suitable for their age to pick up, where they can build a culture on that.
Right.
On these values.
Okay.
So we start also from
At a grassroots level.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Students in the school also we trace, and there is coordination with the concerned or the related ministries in this regard.
Okay.
College students, we also go for them. So I would say that's why I told you in the beginning it's a mass communication. We have a huge number of targeted audience in this regard.
When it comes to, let's say, a real situation, if you were to detect an element of corruption, what happens?
Okay, we have a procedure which we carry out. First of all, and it's very good to point out that SAI has a strategic level. And in this strategic level and plan, it's cascaded towards annual plans. In our annual plan, we have 4 main stages. We plan, then implement, then we write our reports, and finally we follow up.
Okay.
If we talk about the planning, we use the best practices, which is methodology of risk-based audits.
Okay.
So we know that SAI is auditing above 600 entities in Oman itself. So it's a huge number.
Yes, 600 entities.
Above 600.
Yes.
Okay, so for us, we get the best use of our resources. So we go through the risk assessment methodology. The risk assessment methodology will give us what assignments, what engagement we have to take this year, what are the topics, what are the audit scope that we will go inside or during the engagement or the task. Saying that, and referring back to your question, if anything has been discovered which might lead to any form of corruption, and when I talk about the corruption, the forms of the corruption,
Yeah, degrees
I mean,
might be different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean by that bribery, I mean by that embezzlement, theft, etc. So if we have indicators and we were able to collect sufficient evidences, then we will proceed with the public prosecution.
Okay.
Public prosecution will work based on their mandates, and if they find solid evidences, then they will raise it to the specific court.
It becomes a case.
It becomes a case.
Okay.
So this is how the procedure we are working. Pointing out that it's not just only our annual plan that we are working in, but also SAI initiated a very, very, I would say, state-of-art mechanism for complaint and report window.
Oh,
You can access it
on the website?
Through your application.
So there's
phone
an
application.
app. Phone
It's
app.
application,
for
yes.
SAI. Okay.
And recently, this window has been distinguished among the Arab countries as one of the best initiatives by survey done by ISQA. So you can access it through your mobile. We have another mechanism, which is you can report or complain through the website. You can call the free the hotline, or I mean you can call the landline. You can visit one of the headquarters or any of our branches.
If there is a concern to be addressed.
Or if of the community or the government officials came across any incidents that might lead to any form of corruption.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process. The whole year is not just about the annual reports, which you have studied, but also interaction with the
Exactly,
members.
and maybe it's very important also to to add that the number of complaints that SAI handled or received in 2023 reached to 951 complaints.
951.
Exactly, through the media which
Yes.
I have briefed.
And you take up all of them.
87% has been finalized,
Okay.
which is a huge number and a
Right.
huge average, I would say. Yeah. Also, it's very important to say that during the engagement of SAI, and we work during the planning, we interact also with the entities. And the entities that we subject to audits are very known to the community and everyone. It's the administrative apparatus of the state, the state-owned companies, public authorities, establishments, any state-owned company that the government holds 40% or above of the capital share, the companies that
So even the companies who've become privatized now, government companies.
40% and above.
Yeah.
And there are another companies which we audit, which the government granted concessions.
Okay.
So those are subject to SAI audit. We work 24/7 with them. Our members are really doing a great effort in this. And I would say just as a beautiful thing, a positive environment in a huge collaboration. And I would say His Excellency, the Chairman, Sheikh Ghusl bin Hilal Al-Alawi, when he was appointed as a chairman of SAI in 2022, he started to create a mindset which is more, I would say, working with the in coordination and collaboration with the entities. In other words, the thing that we are doing now is we do not wait till the report submitted about our observations, or we submit.
Okay.
So the process of rectifying the observation takes as soon as we can, because the target is to rectify more
Correct.
than
Finding.
exactly.
I understand.
Yes. So this is something that we are, and it's also very important to say that the direct financial impact that SAI managed to claim to the government, and I'm talking here only about the financial impact, the direct financial impact, is above 750 million Omani Riyals for the period from 2016 till 2022.
Okay.
So that's a huge number.
Yes.
Also, SAI managed to claim.
Claim and save.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for that in-depth explanation, for our understanding, and the importance of people who are also not in the government entities, but it's important for us to understand because, like you said, people have a say by informing you through the app or through the website their concerns.
Yes, thank you very much, and I appreciate also having me in this episode, and I would be very happy that it will be beneficiary to the audience.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Our guest has been Salim Al Hajri, Senior Specialist from SAI, that's State Audit Institution. I'm Lakshmi Kothaneth with Naser Alharrasi, thanking you for joining us.